What's up, guys? Brian with HappyThumbsGaming here, and we are back with more of The Last of Us Part 2. This is Chapter 33, The Shortcut, where we get all the collectibles found throughout this one. Now, we actually kind of treat this one like a speed run. Now, per usual, we actually have removed all non-essential cutscenes and gameplay, so there's a couple of fight scenes that I've kind of shrunk down. I also want to point out that as soon as you start this level, there is an artifact in your bag, so automatically collected. There is nothing you can do to miss or grab that. It's just automatically there, so you're welcome. As we move along here, we want to remind you we do have quick links down below in the video description. And of course, we're going to go ahead and trudge our way through this forest until we get to this giant sort of city waterfall. It's pretty crazy. Now, again, we have those quick links down below. We're going to go ahead and bust through this level as quickly as possible. Now, as mentioned, there's a couple of fight scenes. One of them kind of sneaks up on us, and there's even a bloater. So if you have not crafted some pipe bombs and some explodey type things, you might want to do that now so that you can pick up more craftables along the way. Hey, we made it to the waterfall. We're going to go ahead and dip into the right side of it, into this barber shop, and in behind the counter by the old cash register is going to be the first coin for Nevada. Now, if you got some time, you might go ahead and check out that dogs playing poker poster on the wall there, which triggers a nice little cinematic scene. We went ahead and opted to skip it, though, for this, because you guys can check it out if you want to. Now, as we trudge our way across the waterfall here, we're going to actually go up on the blue bus and go to the left side. It's really a funny angle, but you can do it. We'll go ahead and jump inside of the kitchen, bust open that left drawer, grab an 8-piece and a couple of singlets sitting there as well. All right. Back to the action. We're going to go up a little further and jump across a couple more little islands here. This can be awfully scary. I highly recommend using the old jump button and try to use physics in your behalf. So make sure that you jump a little to the left if you're going to slide down to the right if you miss it, or compensate is what I'm saying. Next up is artifact number 2. Keep in mind the first one, you didn't have to do anything. It was just in your bag. The second one is actually under the door on the right-hand side as we make it through one of these apartments. Now we're going to go ahead and smash the window out and continue on our journey, get up onto the old roof. And then we're going to jump onto a little highway bridge here. And it's going to allow us some access to some weapon parts. So go ahead and get to the top of the ladder and jump off down onto, make that leap, yeet. Yeah, boy. We'll go ahead and take a left, go over to this truck, or I guess it's kind of like an Explorer or something. And right to the bottom left side of it is going to be some weapon parts. Swoop them up and keep on with the old keeping on as we go ahead and make our way down the bridge a wee bit. We actually see this little balcony on the left-hand side of a blue apartment. We'll smash and grab. Inside, we find artifact number 3, just sitting on the old table right there. Now, there's a door immediately to your right. We're going to skip that and go to the one to the right of that, which actually happens to be a bathroom. Inside, we're going to find supplements number 2 with a 7-piece sitting inside the right-hand drawer right next to the old commode. Now, behind us, where we were just standing, there's actually another white door. Inside this bedroom is going to be a safe. The code's going to be 30234. That's going to go ahead and unlock it, get us access to some ammo, as well as another pile of weapon parts. So now, speaking of weapon parts, as we go ahead and swoop weapon parts number 2 up, we have not purchased any upgrades for the guns. Now, why we're doing that, there's really no reason to it. I kind of like waiting till the end and doing it all at once. By playing on easy, there's not a big-time need for those upgrades. If you're playing on a higher difficulty, though, I recommend using those and upgrading the guns that you see fit as we go through the journey. All right, speaking of journey, we're going to go ahead and follow those stairs all the way up. Make sure you grab a couple of arrows here at the target practice before going all the way up. Notice it said crit. It's actually labeling a critical damage spot. All right, as we go up to the next tier, there's actually a little fence on the right-hand side with a door or a gate open. We're going to go ahead and sneak through that and grab another stack of weapon parts. Now, here is our first enemy encounter. We actually get rushed by a bloater. I believe there's 3 infected and a clicker, I think. Don't quote me on that, but there's like 5 or 6 guys. I definitely recommend using a pipe bomb. You might be able to sneak a couple of kills with some arrows through the windows, but obviously once you shatter the window, they hear it and come running. So good luck with that. No, I'm just kidding. It shouldn't be too bad. As long as you have a little bit of ammo and maybe an explosive or 2, as I recommended earlier, you should be good. Now, as we make our way across that waterfall yet again, we're going to make our way into kind of an electronics store. I think it's called like InBay or something like that. Inabay. I think it's like an eBay type of thing. We're going to grab an artifact sitting on the dead body right in front of the desk here. And behind it, there's going to be a drawer. We're going to open it up and grab a 7-piece Over to the left of that is another drawer with a 4 stack. Then we've got an 11 stack there. It's actually a 4 and a 7. Now, I got a little confused here. I thought the last part was over on the left side of the workbench, but the workbench is right here, and it's actually on the right-hand side. So, last but not least, we're going to grab these 6 over here. You should have a total of 28. So, hopefully my math was good there. All right, we got a workbench here. As you can see, we've got 422 weapon parts in reserve. However, we have not used any of those. And part of it is that we just don't want to waste time with you guys, you know, building that and doing that on screen. This is a collectible video, not a how Brian builds up his guns video. So that's kind of one of the reasons. Look at that. That was some super yeetage there. We made it across safely. All right, once we get up inside, we're actually going to go... this one was a little confusing, too. We got a coin over on the far right. And we're going to dip out onto this little balcony, make our way all the way to the end, and find a coin for Colorado. I do believe the Oregon one is coming up pretty soon. I thought I saw that in one of the collectible things. Now, I get ahead of myself here. I go through this blue door, but no, you do not want to. Good thing it's not a point of no return. Otherwise, we would have had to start that all over again. Actually, we want to go over here into what I believe is some sort of an exam room. Inside, in the drawer on the right-hand side, is going to be a 19-piece of supplements. So you're going to want to grab those, as we're going to hopefully upgrade Abby at some point, too. That's another thing. I haven't spent any of my points as far as supplements or weapon parts go. And again, a lot of it has to do with the fact that we're on easy. And speaking of easy, look how easy she makes this look. She's leaping across there. I am not willing to risk that. I didn't want to make myself look worser than I already do. That's right, I said worser. Another Brianism. All right, we'll go ahead and keep on with the keeping on. Follow her all the way over to this ladder. Once we get to the ladder, you might notice there's a weapon parts label here. There's actually a 7 stack coming up. We're going to go out and across this bridge over here. It's kind of a makeshift bridge anyways. And you probably noticed on the old thumbnail, this area is crazy. Like, I am not a big fan of heights. That's like one of my weaknesses, especially as I get older. Like, I used to be able to climb trees, houses, all sorts of things. Never was bothered. My mom worked downtown, and we used to go to big buildings all the time. Look, no way would I be able to do that. No thanks. As I get older, I'm not able to do that as much. All right, as she runs across and does those strides across those bars or beams, we're going to go the safe route on the left-hand side, and in that room on the desk is going to be an artifact. So we'll swoop that out before we move on out. And we're just going to follow her until we get to this ladder here. She actually pulls out a light for us so we can see things a little better. Thank you very much. I tried to jack her on the old pole position there with that ladder. It did not work out on my behalf. So we'll go ahead and follow her up here. Once we get up all the way to the top, we actually find ourselves on sort of like a rooftop kind of situation. We're climbing up into basically space. That's where we're going to have a spacesuit on here pretty soon. All right, enemy encounter number 2 for this area. We went ahead and took these guys out. I think there was 5 of them, 4 or 5. Pretty easy battle, really, but it took me a minute or two. They were hiding, and I kept thinking that I had them all, and then one would pop out hiding from the corner. So I'd start going about my business, and then he'd pop up, and then, yeah. Anyways, so go up the ladder, and there's a shrine room at the top. We're going to actually hang a right and go over straight into the back corner here. There is a handful, in fact, 21 weapon parts on this shelf, so you're going to want to swoop all those up. Now, a couple of, I guess it's just an arrow. We're going to go ahead and use the workbench on the opposite side of the room here, which will give us that second workbench for the level. We're up to 450 parts now. Yeah, boy. All right, now to the right of the workbench is another shelf system here, and we've got a couple. We got 13 supplements. Now, after a sad moment here, we actually missed an optional conversation, and boy, am I glad that there is not a trophy for that, because there are a lot of those, and we've been able to pass most of them by just ignoring them. As you could see there's actually another reminder that we do have quick links down below in the video description. Whenever you see that, and it's kind of later in the video, that generally means there's going to be a minute or two before we get to that next collectible. So at the beginning, I mentioned this was kind of a speed run. This is actually enemy encounter number 3. So I had a choice. I could either go and take out all these bad guys and then try to come back and do it, or just go. Now, as you guys might have noticed, these guys like to whistle. And when they whistle, it seems like more bad guys show up, and I don't think they ever end. So rather than sit here in an endless spree of bad guys, I opted to just go ahead and choose what I thought might be an optimal route to the top with the least amount of resistance and hopefully the most cover possible. Now, if you move at the same speed as I do, the guys will likely be in kind of the similar positions as we find them in. However, if you're off by a minute or 30 seconds, they might not be in the same exact spots, but should kind of be in the same patrol routes. Now, I got really lucky there, and buddy up above did not see me right there. And I go up top, and I think this is when I get spotted. I do get spotted before I make it to the end, but we're almost to the end, so that's the good news. I'm able to just yeet it all the way to the end and bust through this door, and once we get through that door, they cannot get us. Now, you might have noticed, too, I missed some ammo on the left, so if you had a little extra time, you might swoop that up, because ammo is in short supply. That is faux show. All right, as soon as we get that bar on the door there, we're going to go ahead and hang a left and go over to the scaffolding or shelving over here, and there's going to be some weapon parts. Now, in the back right corner, on a little desk with a little draped tarp over it, it's going to be supplements number 5. So swoop that up, too, before following out and getting on the elevator, which is super sketchy, and it's like, I don't know, a minute long or something like that. So rather than make us sit here and listen to me flap my yapper for a full minute, we went ahead and zoomed all the way to the end of the elevator ride. So that's right, no elevator music for you. Oh, wait. I put you asleep yet? All right, go ahead and open up the elevator door and get on out. We're going to follow the right side wall here, and there's going to be a couple of things of ammo. That's right. And we're going to find some weapon parts. That's right, weapon parts number 8 is going to be sitting there. Should be 6 total. Now, there's also an artifact pinned to the wall, which kind of blends in, so it's kind of easily missed. So hopefully you don't miss that. Now, again, another reminder, we do have quick links down below in the video description, and it's actually only for one more weapon part. This spot gets a little sketchy, too. As I already mentioned, I'm not a fan of heights, so this would not be something that I would be willing to do, really. I mean, I know in this particular case, if I hurry, I'm going to be able to save somebody's life, so that's pretty important. But at the end of the day, why doesn't this little girl just go? Right? I mean, her friend is more important to her than us. It's not really our fault that she got hurt. I mean, not really. And you know, that being said, we're trying to be a hero, but look at this. Can I get a hell to the no? I mean, seriously, what is going on here? And, oh, by the way, I did a scouting run with the collectibles, right? Which we always do. That scared the crap out of me both times. When you slip and fall right there, I legit was yiked. Yeah! Like, I was like, ah! Both times. Reese laughed so hard. Pretty ridiculous, but true story. That's right. Grown man scared of needles and heights. Those are like my 2 weaknesses, so yeah. Please don't use them against me. Please stop requesting games that go up top this high. All right, hey, the last weapon parts is finally here. Now that we've made our way across the first bridge, it's very important that you do this only after the first bridge, because if you miss it, you cannot come back. So you're going to actually go up the right-hand side. As soon as we drop down from the bridge, there's a little climb-up point. We can make our way up all the way out to this super sketchy spot. No, thank you. I almost left those weapon parts behind and just opted to not to get them. Like, seriously. But hey, I went ahead and got them. There's one more sketchy part, which you probably saw in the thumbnail. That's where we snagged the photo from, but oh, I'll be so glad when this level's totally over and behind me. I don't even want to think about it anymore. Anyways, that's going to go ahead and do it for the shortcut all collectibles for The Last of Us Part 2. Hopefully you guys enjoyed this video. If you did, smash that like button. As for me, that's going to do it for now. As always, until next time, see ya!